Psychology. Some shit.
Yeah, that was the one where you were climbing on it.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the one. No, Fiji is the one when you were climbing on it. Notarized was the one. No, go put the song on.
Which one?
Either one. You could put for whatever. Put the harder one on. Put the Fiji one on.
I don't think it's recorded well.
Damn.
Yeah, my name is Riley, son. But you know niggas call me AKA Riley.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I be the street. All kinds of names like HR Paper Stack.
It still hits though. It still hits.
Just the beat, though. The beat is what's.
No, if we had the song right, it would have been decent.
Hell yeah.
Met a little shorty, she freaky. Pussy so wet, no squeegee. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. Met a little shorty, she freaky. Pussy so wet, no squeegee. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. Kinky little bitch, she a eater. Give her a taste, now she fiendin', yeah. Cut that bitch off, she was needy. Don't need your validation. You was hating and chasing the clout for the money. You still broke. And go ahead with his spots, we still smoke. You smoke a right this big dope. I'm not the nigga you play ho. They all copy like tenfold. From the back, she ride me like Enzo. From the back, she ride like an Enzo. Think about it. 2 hands on it and super sloppy. She be so picky with worse options. I'm about action, so quit the talking. Double D's with breakfast in bed and some head between. Feel like the man when I walk in. Custom made, just some raw shit. Flex on the word very often. I'm in a league of my own. What you gon' bring to the table when I build the table alone? I'm in a league of my own. What you gon' bring to the table when I build the table alone? I got the sauce and it's dripping. I give her sauce when she dripping. I got the
I was
sauce
in
when
and
it's
out of the
dripping.
booth. You can hear the range
Met a
of
little
it.
shorty, she freaky. Pussy so wet, no squeegee. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. Met a little shorty, she freaky. Pussy so wet, no squeegee. She say I'm dripping like Fiji. She say I'm dripping like Fiji.
Nigga be dripping like Fiji. Bitch, you gon' need you a squeegee. She love the green, wanna marry your brother. That bitch ride the pipe like Luigi. Screaming, oh God, she get preachy. Head be so good that she teach me. We fuck on the low when the husband at home get the pussy and then she don't see me. I'm out of this world, cannot reach me. I do not think that you copy me. This shit's a lot to me, y'all niggas slack. I got a lot to see. I'm in my bag to this shit's a colostomy. This is philosophy. She tryna kick it like we wearing Socrates. I do not play though. This isn't pottery. Poverty probably made me a psycho. I need a lobotomy. Guap in the back, got the heat on the side of me. Squad got my back, you can see the camaraderie. That mean a lot to me. Niggas were hating in the past, now they sorry. Don't need an apology. I got your bitch and she me gynecology. I love the brain like I'm teaching neurology. That bitch got freaky on Friday. She sucked my dick from the back, called it reverse psychology. Whoa. She like to fuck like a porn star. Lift that booty up, make it twerk. When I beat it up, make it hurt. When I beat it up, make it squirt.
It was,
She
but
like to
I
fuck like
also
a porn
think
star.
that
Lift that booty up, make it twerk. When I beat it up, make it hurt.
Yo, that has potential though.
it does, and I think that if we eventually come back to it, that will be one of those ones that will definitely bang for sure. For sure. You got another one you want to play?
Yeah, bro.
And this is the CNC podcast. And my name is Derek Alston, aka Why Not Derek, and today we have a guest in the building.
Universe. I am Universe.
And we're just having a flashback moment right now.
Of course.
Very much.
This is actually the first song we recorded together.
This is the first song.
Enjoy.
And it's funny how we were high in the room thinking of this shit in the car, then it really came out to a song.
Manifested to a song.
Yeah.
Low-key banger too.
For sure.
I'm like in the OG that's smoking the mood right. Was taught by the OGs that show me the move right. Now my goons is nocturnal, they move in the moonlight. With a hitter and passenger gripping that tool tight. Potato on barrel, it look like a food fight. They animal savage, they live in that zoo life. We taking your bitch to say she need a new life. Now she trying to bless me like
She
she's
took
singing
a Zoom
Zoom
tight.
tight. Hope that poon tight. Said if I fuck, then it's only for 2 nights. Won't be for 2 nights. One ain't enough, girl, you better bring 2 dice. Ride that in the condo, bitch, they gon' do it right. Remember my pockets was too tight. Now a nigga got his loot right. Bitch, I came up from the suicide. Call Kamikaze, the doors open suicide. Bad bitches on Mars way. Bad bitches on Mars way. Loud guy, nigga stargazing. Loud guy, nigga stargazing.
What you smoke, we got all flavors. Red eyes, Darth Vader. Building the craft and the business, accomplishing goals as I witness the growth from beginning to flourish from a seed that didn't need water. We live in the studio, familiar with dimes, the dollar so Rubio. They dreaded me through the cap just like I'm Coolio. I came a long way from the bottom, be moving up, double my shots, roll a couple up. I don't feel bad for you niggas, outshining ops cause we different. What you say? Reaching for goals but you missing cause you never paid attention. I'm versatile like a switch, it flows different like more women, like open mind with a tunnel vision. 2020 so you know the vision, the shit I lay is sick, clear vision. I'm not the type that you idolize, you gotta look in the eye for lies. Sun is up like he on the rise. Sun is up like he on the rise. Sun is up like he on the rise.
Bad bitches on Mars way. Bad bitches on Mars way. Loud guy, nigga stargazing.
That song is composed well.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, as all together, it's composed
More
well.
complete.
Bad bitches on
Yeah.
Mars way.
More complete for sure.
I still want to do music, but I just want to take it slower. You know, I just had so much ambition to do all this shit before, but I'm not really hooked on the music and shit as much. Now I'm just kind of hooked on, like, I look at it like this. I'm like, I see a lot of people doing things, and I'm wondering why are they getting in the positions they're getting in, and it's because they're doing enough things that there's got to be some way to get noticed or cross paths with an individual through 10 of those ventures. So why just sit around and do 2 things and think that things are going to happen for me?
I hear you there, man. Especially for me, like being an artist, music is just one form of art. I remember having dreams of being famous and being rich, and you know, that's kind of what motivated me from a music standpoint. And now I just look at it more as a form of expression and just like a form of art. And when I decide to express myself that way, I'm good at it and I enjoy doing it. And then there's other times when I try to express myself artistically in other ways. And I mean, that's what I feel like you're good with, like the fashion.
Yeah.
You know? You could take that same level of creativity and apply it in fashion, especially with how music and fashion, they kind of blend in. So, I don't know. We're good at it. People also enjoy it. You know, we get good feedback on everything.
That was the second thing I was going to say, because definitely I remember this one kid would just be like, yo, I'm bumping your shit every day, yo, it's crazy. Then sent me a snap, and I laughed. I laughed because, like, even though he was not of color and he was saying the N-word, but I'm thinking of it like this, like, okay, this is a song. He's showing me how much supportive, you know, he is. I know he's trying to get one out, and he is getting it out, but that's not the point. The point is, like, I don't know this kid, you know what I mean? For him to, like,
Be so hyped.
yeah, and like making snaps with the music in the back, bro. And a lot of the times he was playing to your part. And I just kept asking him, I'm like, bro, did you ever buy it on iTunes? He's like, yeah. And then, like, I seen him on Twitter, and it's like you start realizing, like, oh shit, we got like a fan, like, not just like a regular, just like, yeah, you guys are cool. Like, then I started noticing he shares it, and then he like has it in the background, and I'm like, oh shit, he's not getting like crazy notifications. I mean, like attention or anything like that, but it's still.
That's still dope, though, to be
Yeah.
able to, you know, impact someone to the point where they want to listen to your song over and over again. That's dope, man, because I feel like I listen to my songs over and over again because I like them, you know?
I do the same, and I do the same because I can just pop up with a different individual and play it and then act like it's not even me. And then there's a good chance that before we get out of the car again, they might be like, yo, what was that song? they'll start looking it up and they're just like look up the lyrics like, and they're just looking up bad bitches on going stargazing or whatever they try. No, it's, and then they don't find anything, or they do. They have to be typing in it exactly like how we said it. But it's just funny to think about it. Like, damn, somebody's actually Googling this. But
Yeah.
it's not even about the money. It's about the creative ability, like the ability to. That's my thing. That's like the whole thing with this podcast. That literally what it was about was like, how am I just gonna like get on some kind of platform and just like talk what I feel and it be reciprocated or not, but still be there. Like it being there, like that's what counts. Like if I want to go back in a year from now and be like, what was that like? I don't need to ask anybody because they're not gonna really kind of be able to tell tracks, like tell, like
You can be limited with music. You can get a lot more out when you're just speaking freely. I feel like is what you're saying.
yeah. And even like in this venture, the podcasting, that's exactly what happens. I'm able to like look back and be like, damn, a year ago I was seeing that. A year ago I was seeing certain things that now I'm living, and I'm just like, damn, where did I get that from? But then it was like I was telling the future myself that shit, and it just crazy how it full circles around.
You know, it's interesting because that's the manifestation, man. And like, that's one of the most powerful things you can do as a human is be able to manifest. Look back and be like, I told myself I was going to be here a year from now. No one else believed it, but I turned that thought, something that's not material, into material success. That's powerful. That's manifestation right there.
Sorry. I just knocked the mic over. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think that was a real thing. I'm gonna be honest. Let me. Sometimes I have these thoughts, and I'll be like, yo, when you come from a black culture, or if you just let me just say that because I can explain it the best on that. You don't really get taught that shit. You don't really get taught to be weak. You don't even get taught to be vulnerable. You don't get taught that shit.
That's very true.
And like sometimes I think about it because I'm around other people who are just like taught the same thing. They're just taught to be, you're not a punk or you're not a sissy, you're not this, and it's like
You
Jesus.
get taught almost to feel emotion makes you weak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So then why do you think that you have so many people that grow up and then they're heartless?
Hard.
And or they're just, even if they're not heartless, they're just hardened.
Yeah.
And like that makes it difficult. And it's like not everybody just like, okay, I don't want to like be in the presence of every single person, but there are some people that I'm like, I might want to be around. And they just so hardened that it's like, not everyone wants to take advantage of you.
I will say this though, that having that adversity growing up, having that hardened, that chip on your shoulder, when applied the right way, when you can harness that energy and apply it and concentrate it in the right way, it can really give you an advantage. That type of motivation can be really powerful, and I just feel like that's something that we miss. The black culture, we miss out on that. We're just so enamored with being mad and just wanting to be heard and understood that we forget that we can use that energy as a form of motivation, as a form of fuel.
Yeah. That's kind of what keeps me going. Looking back on that in times when others were in the same similar situations and not having, and then you like, damn, I didn't have a lot back then. Now I go through shit and I don't care because it's like I didn't have it. What was the nostalgia so like hungry? What was I so hungry for? Why did I want those Jordans when I was 12? And now that I'm 30 something, I have them, and I'll play basketball in them. Like I know they're basketball shoes, but they're also collectors, like your nice shoes.
Another part of that black culture,
Yeah, for sure. But I'm not gonna lie, these young youths, they made the Nike Air Force go back up to $100. It's not even funny. I see these fucking ran down around the corner paperboy, crunched up dry sheets. These sneakers be looking torn up, 10-mile walking and running. They just look really bad, and people just give them life still. They literally give them life with fresh fits. It's remarkable. It's like they don't die until they die until the sole comes off. When your Nike Air Force One sole comes off or your laces are brown,
They're
then
not Chuck Taylors. They don't look fashionable when they're beat up.
yeah,
Air Forces are only nice when they're super clean.
yo, I can show you like 30 TikToks where you won't notice it because of the content that they're doing. But then if you just peep down real quick, you'll see the most craziest Air Force Ones, and you won't even realize it. And then you'll laugh because you're seeing people give them gifts. You're like, yo, and you come on here for the. That's just to let you know, like that shit doesn't matter. But it's like back to the point. They used to be like $70, you know, like.
I remember getting clowned for not having Nikes and shit. I used to have to wear the Shaqs and the AN1s from time to time, you know?
Yeah, I actually used to want to wear Skechers, but my mom used to tell me it was corny.
My mom didn't care about that.
Damn, I wish I
Them
could
shit's
have.
cheap.
Nah, Shaq did make them. He made them kind of like basketball sneakers that we liked.
That's one thing that I respect about Shaq.
Yeah.
Is that he made his shoes affordable, like mostly because he disagreed with how expensive Jordan made his shoes. But that wasn't really Jordan. That was Nike. Nike
Nah,
was
but
leveraging the black culture.
But I feel like Jordan also doesn't even give a fuck about anything. He don't. I watched an interview of Michael Jordan saying something, and he was like, What's your favorite Jordan?" And then like he said something like a 26. Like, I don't even know. That's the weirdest answer ever. First of all, it's like you're Michael Jordan and you say your favorite Jordan's a 26. You know what I mean? That's weird, but I would assume like, you know, it'd be like an 8 or a 4 or maybe 6. He said like a 26, like 28. I'm like, what? I didn't even know they make Jordans that. But that's just to let you know, like, he didn't really give a fuck about. Once he wore them and has them, and now his family, his son Marcus, he does Jordans, and he has a sneaker room, and I watch it on Instagram. I be looking, because I'm gonna wait until I get my time to, you know.
I don't know. I got Jordans, you know. I got some nice Air Forces. Some clean retros and shit, but to me, I don't get super deep into, you know, shoe game crazy, you know. Couple clean, something clean. I'm good.
I feel like that's the oppression. It's like a portal to the oppression. It's like when you just purchase that. I bought a like $250 just regular Coach jacket, and it's not like a Coach like the designer, just the actual like the type of coat. It was like a basketball Coach jacket, and I was just like, why did I spend so much money on this? And it was because it had a certain kind of fabric. So I just started thinking, like, yo, if I would have found that fabric, got on the sewing machine, put the zipper, I probably could have put it together way cheaper.
Not only that, but also the money that like people are spending on shoes, like thousands and thousands of dollars. Imagine if you invested that in crypto, or in Tesla, or even if you invested that in properties that you rented out as Airbnbs.
That's so
Like,
fucked up.
You're like, you can do so much more with that money than just buy shoes and be like, hey, look at all these shoes that I have. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not like degrading it at all. I'm just saying, me personally, the way that I think, I could just think of much more effective and efficient ways to spend money.
Yeah, especially not on shoes.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I bought shoes and I realized how kind of a waste it was. Like, for the fact that I could just wear like multiple pair of shoes, and I had that, it just got to the point where I'm just like, I'm only one person. I gotta change my shoes 2-3 times a day to get full usage of the shoes that I wear, and it's just like, it's already exhausting to just be enduring life in somewhere new, and I'm like, you know, who cares about this shit? I didn't, and I don't now. I do want to get a couple pair of nice shoes just so I can just have when I want to wear them, but
Yeah, of course. You always want to be in something clean.
yeah, but other than that, I don't care. I'm over that material shit. Like I never will own a Dior or Gucci shirt. Even if I get successful, I just would rather just press my ideas harder. Because like I can make something that is way more influential than a T-shirt that says Dior, made by Dior. Like, you know, like, I don't know.
No, I hear you there. I have my fair share of designer clothes, but it's more so when I go out and I know I'm gonna have pictures taken of me and stuff like that. I like to look clean. You know what I mean? I like to at least know like I look like I know what's going on fashionably.
Yeah.
But the thing that I respect about you is that you would rather wear something that you created. Like if I had that, if I would had the ability to make a custom jacket that I spent 3 hours working on, and some shoes that I painted, handcrafted, and like I would much rather go out in that and be like, no one can have this, because some of your shit is just like, wow. It's like, wow, who would have thought of that?
I'd be thinking the same thing. I'd be looking at it like, who the fuck would have ever thought to put this together, these colors, or that zipper there, or this fat. I don't know. I usually just, when I isolate myself, that's when I work the best. And it's damaging because, like, I don't stop at that point. And then it's like, once the completion comes, how long did I spend to do that, And then how much did I lose from that? Like, usually it's not picking up the phone and shit like that, which is, like, essential because people know that's what I do. But it keep getting me. It keep getting me. Only because when I was playing, that sweat was getting in my eyes. My shit's just watery right now.
Yo, you were cooking.
Nah, I'm telling you, it's part of my confidence. It's like, when I take too long, it teaches me to make the right decision and just make the decision. And then feel if it's even wrong, just accept it. That's it. Like, if I'm going to miss a three-pointer, I missed. Don't worry. As a team, like, I kept telling that kid, I said, stop looking at them running towards you and then waiting. You think that everyone's going to jump. Just shoot the ball still. You probably will shoot over them and make it. And he was like, no, I don't want to get blocked, dude. I'm like, why are we playing basketball then? If I get blocked, I'm not mad. I just know the next time that I touch the ball, you might get cooked. Just by like default of you thinking that you like, you know what I mean? When you said you one more time and then I'm gonna guard him, he said to me, he said, I know you want.
You hit the 2-pointer on it. He was
No,
like,
I said, yo, you it's hard. You get too close, and then you keep looking for the screens. And I was like, and I'm watching you look for the screens, so I know that if you look to the right, I step to the left, you're going to move the opposite, and I'm going to take the crossover with me as I go by you. It's like I do a lot of people watching when I play now. I used to never do that because I used to never want to really pass the ball, even though I can pass the ball well. I just never wanted to pass the ball, especially looking like if you're not going as hard as me. I don't know, I was on some Kobe shit. Maybe not playing like him, but had the attitude like him. Like, you know what I mean? Which was bad because then people are like, yo, you're shooting the ball a lot. And I'm like, all right, let me ask you something.
Making it, though.
And if I'm missing, guess what? I'm running my ass off to either get the rebound or steal it from the person that got the rebound. All in one cycle. Like, no, they're not getting out of the paint without me getting one of those two things off. For real. That's the thing about me. People, they start looking around. They don't never look in the close proximity. Because they be a vulture like me, waiting to just for you to put the ball on the ground so I can just pop it from, boop. And then you're like, damn, why didn't, well, that was the point. You know what I mean? That's exactly the point. I'm sneaky. I watch. I look away, act like I'm acting stupid, and then they'll make the pass, jump in the air. Yo, I didn't even. Well, that's the point of the game. You think I'm going to keep looking at you? Oh, he's right there in the middle. It's the point of the game. It's alluring. That alluring effect is in life is like what wins. I see it happen. I see skinny women go on OnlyFans and make tons of money, and I'm just like, the appeasing view of that to some people is nice, but to me, I'm I'm just a person who just doesn't see the point of that whole thing. You know, the whole, whatever it is, just the world of just, you can just go handle your business for free on the internet. You know what I mean? I don't. You just Google a couple things and then you straight. You feel me? Like, in like variety. It's like a candy store versus like going to the bodega. Like, that's not the candy store. They have candy in it, but it's not the candy store. That's like, I wanted to interview this girl that did OnlyFans, but the problem was, she said she wanted a percentage of it. And I'm like, bitch, we ain't making any money. I was like, the minute you start naming stuff and using brands and stuff like that, the YouTube will pick it up and then it'll be in their copyright claims. So it's like, you need to do so many things. You can't talk about like COVID. You can't talk about that because it's crazy that I did it that way. But honestly, the algorithm doesn't pick it up when you do it that way. When you say it, it picks it up. And when it picks it up,
What is it? Just listening for keywords?
yeah, it's like 1,000 words. The N word, when you use it, they if you use it multiple times, yes, it does. It does. It'll give you a notification for it to be silenced or something. They can silence it, your whole YouTube video.
Oh, wow.
So then people can still watch it. Same thing with the TikTok. It's the craziest thing ever. I'm like, yo, why? Like, I got blocked on there, then they banned me, and then I had to like keep doing these emails, and then finally it gets unbanned, and I'm like, oh, cool. I post a podcast clip episode. It takes
On TikTok?
It takes a whole week to get 100 views. I'm like, yo, they shadow banning me. I was getting
Damn.
mad views before, dude. I was getting like,
I saw you got a couple thousand a few times.
yeah, bro. I was like, yo, this shit's kind of booming. Then one time I reposted this freestyle that like it literally happened on a live stream, and I was just for some reason screen recording the Call of Duty game, and I forgot to exit it. So I caught it. I caught the first freestyle of this Tory Lanez, Aiden Ross stream, and I posted it, and somebody stole it, got 1 million views on it. I'm like,
was that the she make it clap?
Yeah.
Strap 21 gets.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
The crazy thing was the motherfucker got 1 million views off the replay. I was like, but my shit didn't even get that much. It's sometimes people be using the right algorithms, the right time, the right hashtags, and that shit really be working, bro.
I feel like people go viral and become famous every single day.
They do, but it's like this.
That's so dangerous, though. That's so dangerous for our society because that makes every person that watches TikTok feel like they can get lucky and go viral and become famous. And they do dumb shit. And instead of learning and reading a book and trying to figure out who they are, they want to become viral and they want to become a meme and have 1 million followers. And that's so toxic.
Bro, I seen it. I used to watch these videos of this kid. He was getting beat up on TikTok. Then it made me go on Instagram. And then he was getting beat up on Instagram Live by his girlfriend. And then he would be smoking in a room with his child in the room and on the bed with his baby mama fighting while he's trying to light a black, singing to Daniel Caesar. He was getting beat up. He takes his trauma, capitalizes on it. The videos are getting 1.4 million, 4 million. These are videos of him getting beat up on Instagram and TikTok. You feel what I'm saying? And he's a small nigga. So when she beating him up, he clapping him. I could show you videos, and it's just like, yo, it's wild. It's just wild to think, like, damn, this fucking kid's getting beat up on it. He's getting beat up on social media, and like now he's famous, and now everyone wants to interview him because that moment went viral. And it's like, to him, he don't care. Every time you see him, he's drinking and smoking. Like, I do that, but guess what? There's not going to be all the time you're going to see me doing that. I do that in my presence of where I'm at. If I'm at the crib, I'm doing it there. I'm not going out, and I'm not making that something big. Like, I do less of around a social setting because it's not everyone's vibe. You feel me? Like, not everyone smokes and drinks. That's the conundrum where you're like, if you want to ride a wave, you gonna find yourself in that. Otherwise, you're not. You're just gonna. I don't smoke. I just drink. Understandable. You know what I mean? Like, I drink when I'm out socially. I'm not smoking all the time. I can't smoke every place that I go. I can't drink something. That's why I couldn't wait to grow up for what? To have all this pressures in life? Fucking life pressures are more harder when you're older than you thought when you were younger.
Yeah. I feel like the older I get, the more I realize how impressionable I was when I was becoming an adult, because I realized the things that I thought that I wanted, I only thought that I wanted them because of what I saw was quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
You know, the quote unquote American dream, whatever. Now that I'm old enough to be able to reflect and look back and see how certain decisions really affected me and whatnot, now I realize that I have a lot more power in my decision making now, because I just have more experience, more life experience. That's something that I never understood when I was younger, because when you're 22, 23, and you know that 35, 40-year-old tells you, "Oh, you're still just a kid. You don't even know." It's so hard to agree with that when you're,
Or accept it.
or
Just
accept it.
yeah.
You know, you're 23 or 24 years old. You know, you can drink. You've had your license for 5, 6 years. You either graduated college, or you're about to graduate college, or you decided you didn't want to go to college. You might have kids at that time. You know what I mean? And you're just like, I'm a kid. Fuck out of here. I'm grown. But like, you really still haven't made many decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've just been so, I don't want to say brainwashed, but just conditioned.
I try not to say that brainwash word, because then it gets to like a technical term, but the definitely condition thing is true. I feel like for one, the American dream is a condition. Honestly, it's one of the worst stigmas, because it's telling you how to literally live your life from a little kid. Your mind is already getting into the same routine to set yourself up. So you spend 12 years going to school to master just the art of things that they put in books and they put in movies. They have museums for this shit. And then you have people switching and changing things up and then presenting it to you through these outlets, teachers, social media, TED Talks. These dudes who come on there and try to tell you history. Dude, listen. I be off the internet for days, and then people usually message me and they're like, "We're glad to see you back," or "You've been gone for a while." And I ask them, why is that something that you need to tell me? Like, if you're noticing that I'm not there, and then they tell me why, and then I don't even realize why am I being so aggressive to the point that, why does it matter if I don't come on social media? Like, you don't know what's going on in my life, but that's why they said that's what the explanation was. Is to make, make sure things was all right because I wasn't around, or I wasn't on this or that. And I'm just like, this isn't like the metaverse. Like, just because I'm not on here doesn't mean like when I come back I'm supposed to like give you like my like my beginning, like my update, like, hey, like I've been doing okay. I mean, I don't give a fuck about that. Take a year off and come back and just post a dot. Like, and people will like it. That's the weird thing.
Yeah,
They'll like it.
that's definitely some shit you would do.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's
That's
like,
some shit I would do too.
I be trying to tell people sometimes. I'm like, yo, we really get so caught up in all the shit that they, like, I see like that TikTok shit be really suppressing my brain, but I be letting it out. I be letting it out. I be commenting on that shit, and then I find myself in a wormhole. Then I just delete that. Just because, like, once, then I forget that, like, I put content on it myself. So, like, because then it's like, oh, you're just negative. No, like, you can go on your thing and it says that you're 20 years old. And it's like, all your content is to do this and reach this to go viral. And it's like, yo, why do you need to go viral? You're only 20 years old. Then when they start talking shit and doing all this, it gets you fucking warning. And then they'll, like, shadow ban you where you can't like nothing, share anything, nothing. But you can, like, view some limited shit. Then they just, when I turned on the app, it asked me to sign in. I'm like, what? It kept doing it. So it let me know, like, yo, these apps are triggered for, like, guidelines. And, like, that's cool. But, like, these motherfuckers are breaking the guidelines. Obviously. Like, niggas be putting fucking hookah smoke in the air. But then they be going in the cut and you see niggas have the shadow of their hands together. Like, you smoking. Fingers together like you smoking weed. I posted smoke in the air outside. Banned. Blocked. Yo, dude, I got so many claims in my TikTok thing that I just stopped using it for a while.
Damn.
Because I'm like, I don't know when they're going to do it again. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to post something and it's, like, about to go viral and they just, like, you didn't agree with our terms and guidelines. Let's mute your video.
It's so fucked up how much shit they can squeeze into those terms and conditions. Nobody ever reads that shit.
Well, this is the thing.
They could say, we're using your location to tell the government everywhere you're at, what you're looking up on your internet, what you said, everything that you've said and done while you were around your phone. We had access to your microphone and your cameras, and we have everything. And we're giving that all to the government. And you didn't read it, and
Yeah.
you agreed to it.
Well, that'd be just like the shit you sign off on when you gotta sign in these places. When you go to the car dealership and they're giving you 18 pages to sign and read, and you just want to get to the sign, give me the keys. You might have signed some shit.
Yeah.
You might have signed some shit where you're like, all right, I'm ready to pay the car off, and you can't. Not in the first 5 years. Now you gotta save that bread, and they know you won't save it. So by the time you actually get that bread back up, you had already gave them 20 to 25% more than the car's worth.
The whole monetary system as a whole is fucking corrupt. It's crazy the fact that debt and money and it's just all fucking wild. Whoever thought of that is a fucking evil genius. He's the brain from Pinky and the Brain, and he actually succeeded.
I'm sure it was a lot more simple back then, and then they had to adapt with the times, which means that they had to make sure that the benefit was bigger than what it was before. It probably was some small benefit from it, like, you know, I'll let you do this or give you this, but you give me 3 things or 4 things back if I give you this one thing. The small system of it was, like, maintainable, but now it's unobtainable. It's and the maintenance on all that shit, the money, you know, that goes into it. I tell people, I'm like, the part of the American dream that they're so hooked on is the become financially stable, have the house, and then have the kids. They're not even like infatuated the part of even making it possible. They overskip it till once they get it.
Just the idea of buying the one house and living in it your whole life, and that's it. That just seems so incomplete. It just seems like so just unfulfilling. But for some people, that's everything, and I respect that, because when life is that simple, there's a lot of beauty in that too. But I just feel like if you can own multiple properties, live in one, but be able to maybe Airbnb out all of the other ones and have maybe 10 days out of the year where you can spend at your property that's in South Beach, or your property that's in, you know, Maine in the summer. You know what I mean? Just like,
Man, people's brain can't tune in that far. I try to have conversations with strangers more often because then it teaches me a bit about I'm a person who reads into things fast, and sometimes I'm off and I'm fine with that. But then sometimes when I'm off, it leads me to get to another point that's 100% on, and then we go back to the what was off, and then they just interpret it differently, which still interprets the same thing that I was saying before. Especially like that right there, just all the things when we get into that conditional shit. That's the shit that I really spend like my whole forward and the rest of my years like understanding that and just manifesting and how that works. And when I'm around these younger kids, like let them know like there's room for growth. You don't need to be that like tough little kid that tries to act tough because there's gonna be somebody that's gonna beat you up. Then you're not gonna be ready for that time. You're gonna try to up him and think life is a number score, and then you're gonna really put some numbers on the board, and then they're gonna put some numbers back on the board. And the numbers you put on the board are going to be single digits, and they're going to put double digits on the board, you know? And I told one of these kids one time, he was like, I'm having beef with somebody, because I would, sometimes I'd go on people's statuses, and I would, like, yo, if you need somebody to talk to, and then sometimes it would work, and sometimes it wouldn't. And one kid, he would just, like, get on there and, like, send voice notes. He'd send, like, voice notes on Facebook Messenger. Yo, it'd be mad, like 30 of them. It would be like, wow. I'm like, dude, they gotta load first. Like, why can't you just text it? Like, and you're like the first 5, you'd be like, yo, these niggas be trying to fuck me over. They think I'm stupid. And the next one would be like, yo, I'm ready to go crazy in these streets. And then the next one would be like, yo, where you at? Yo, you down the ride? And then I'm just like, yo, why are you like, you're holding the phone, stopping, and then like continuing what you're saying, and like, yo, it was crazy, but I'm just like, bro, I can help you. Like, then he's like, can you send $7 Snapchat? And I'm like, all right, I'm good with you. Like, you're just like going through some manic stage, and then you just come to results. Can you just send $7 Snapchat? I'm like, dude,
What the hell? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Send $7 through Snapchat?
Regardless
Does
of the fact,
Snapchat have a way that you can send money to each other?
oh, I mean, Cash App.
Cash App. I'm about to say, what? There's a way you can snap money to people?
Yeah, there's Snap money. There's money on that TikTok shit too. You can send gifts. You can send one gift and it costs $5. That's why they be shaking ass and doing that. And then when you get 1,000 subscribers or something like that, you can go live.
That TikTok shit is just so crazy.
No, to me, what blows my mind is OnlyFans. They go buy a cell phone, an iPhone 11. They go buy a ring light, and they do.
Well, the OnlyFans thing, I feel like is it's definitely crazy because people are performing like sexual, like, I don't want to say sexual services, but sexual acts.
Oh, for sure.
And making money off of it and profiting off of it. The thing about TikTok though is, like, it's so easy for the average person, because not everybody's gonna pay $7 a month to watch some girl shake her ass or show her titties.
Sometimes they're smart. They do free ones.
But
they do free ones.
But the average person,
No.
it's so easy for the average person to watch an hour worth of TikTok and not even realize it. Like, there's this thing called YouTube. I didn't watch TikTok. I do subscribe to some YouTube channels. You know, I do my fair share of social media. I don't do the Twitter and the Instagram and all that, but I watch some YouTube videos. And there's a thing called YouTube Shorts, which I'm assuming is very similar to TikTok, just like quick.
No, that's like
videos.
it's a story. It's like
And there's no like beginning or end, and
No.
it's just video after video, and it's just so easy to get lost in it.
yeah. But but this is the thing. So they're like, sometimes they're like 12 seconds. I've done shorts on my podcast, and you don't even get enough. You only get so much time to get it out. So you're like really watching 15, 20, 20 minutes equaling to like hours worth of scrolling. You know what I mean? Because it feels like you're scrolling for a long time, but
Oh my god!
you gotta think they're not that long. They're 15.
Imagine how many videos you've watched and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, and then sometimes
That's gotta be so bad for your attention span.
bro. After a certain time, I stop looking at my phone, and you know what it does? It just sits in the corner. Sometimes it don't get charged, and then people are like, "How can you do that?" I'm like, "Bro, there's got to be days where I gotta win the battle. I can't just be like on my phone all day." And it's like, I thought that's how you handle business. It is,
That's
but
real.
it's like I can't be on my phone all day. I have to trade in. I have to trade in my own time. I have to trade in like my own peace of mind where I can just walk around and think without like looking around for something. Because it's not like every single time I'm like talking and contacting people. Sometimes I go through my old shit and I look for ideas that I just threw in the air just because I didn't know where to put them. So then I go there and then I try to, recreate them or remix them or whatever, just try something new. And I usually find myself on some bullshit. And then I usually find myself on some more bullshit. And then as 45 minutes later, I was on my page and now I'm on somebody else's page that I'm not even friends with. Now I gotta just turn the phone off. And I'd be looking around like, why did I just spend? So then I'll just do something else. And then the phone would just be turned off over there for the rest of the night. And then I wake up, it's charged, and then I got all these notifications. That's what gets me. Swipe over once, bring me right to that. Welcome back. Like, fuck you. Let's check the notification real quick. All right, 1, 2, 2. All right, I'm out
It's
of
like
here.
a drug.
No, but it's because they tell you the setup and how they want you to set up. You just don't even see it when it says sign up. You're like, sign up. Remember the password. Cool. Send notifications. Push notifications. You're like, sure. Now you don't even notice, but half the time your phone's doing all these alerts and all this shit, and because you signed up for it. When I don't have the alerts on, I don't check it. It's the greatest thing. I don't check it, and then I'll go back on like Facebook, and I'd be like, I haven't posted in 3 months, and I'll scratch my head like, what? But then I'll be looking like all the other social medias, and I'm like posting like 3 weeks ago. So it's just like I'm selective on some of them because it's not even about attention. It's more or less about like me just getting out of my creative mode. Mostly really what it is. Like that just paint on everything and just nah. I'm getting back into that sewing bag where I can start sewing shit again, shoes. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, that custom shit you be doing, bro. That shit has a lot of potential.
Yeah, but I need to work with the team so that they possibly know how to make it easier.
A lot of it too is location. I mean, it's so easy to go viral with, everybody's got exposure now with social media, but to be around other people that are creative. Like, you remember when we went out to Orlando
Yeah.
and, like, we make music, we freestyle, we're really talented. People tell us that all the time. But, like, when we go down to Orlando and we go to these open mics, like, we're a dime a dozen, bro. Like, there's plenty of talent out there.
Yeah, but it's not
But
the
when
same.
when you're around that, it's like steel sharpens steel,
Yeah.
Like you come up around a bunch of dogs, you're gonna become more of a dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That environment, that like we were talking about earlier, that it's almost like that adversity, that having to have that chip on your shoulder, knowing that you're not the best. But so if you want to be the best, you're gonna have to work that much harder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's the same thing with any type of creativity, any type of creative art that you want to do. Like, if it's going to be fashion, being in a place where you can become friends with people who are models, people who are seen by people, who can wear something that you made and have important people ask them, "Oh, wow, what is that?"
Dude, it's
Why are
tough.
you
It's
wearing
tough
that?"
though, bro. It's tough.
You know?
The aspects of it are tough to give up the shit. That's the tough part. It's not the money.
I wonder if could you pay someone who's like up and coming model, like, or up and coming social media influencer, to wear one of your jackets and just be like, "Hey, like, I'll pay you like $700 if you can wear this jacket in one of your videos for like 5 minutes." And then if someone asks you, "Hey, who made that jacket? What is that jacket?" Just send them my hashtag, my handle, whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could do that.
I do, but it doesn't always work. There's a lot of people that they wonder how that person's got that, and usually they boast and brag about it being such a good deal, which is because at the time I don't really want to give it up. I don't really like. I made a jacket that was so fire that when the dude said he wanted to buy it, I said, nah, you gotta buy both of them and you gotta buy that jacket. He said, I don't have that much money on me. He said, I accept Venmo and I can go to you with you in the bank in the morning. Like, what you need me to go to the bank with you in the morning? Like, you got to buy all three of them. He kept looking at the jackets. He's like, but I just want this one. I'm like, that, you got to buy all three of them, bro. How much? $250. So he's like, damn. And I'm like, bro, first of all, you're getting 2 jean jackets, a blue and a black one. And you're getting a coat that has sewn in embroidery that I hand sewn in on it. So you're really not going to be able to get this anywhere else.
Just the hours. Like,
Yeah.
how many hours did it take for you to make that?
Even if it didn't take that many hours, maybe it was already, there may have already been stains on it or burn holes or whatever the case was on it that I made. No, because it was from the Goodwill thing, and it was just fucked up. It was just, the jacket was in poor condition. I washed it.
I'm about to like this.
Yeah, you can go ahead. And I was just sewing and doing extra things and little details that made it come alive. Every time there was a hole, I made it seem like it was a patch over it. Like I used the sewing thread as a, a kind of a patch, just with simple design, crisscross design. And like I sold $1,000 painting. The painting for me was trash, but I see what they seen it. I seen that there was angles and there was these type of shapes inside of lines and darkness and colors that made it. I seen it, but it didn't make me want to feel any type of way. Because what's $1,000 to me selling 10 paintings for $200? I'm shortening the process by taking this $1,000, knowing that I might not never get this same thing again. When I could, sell, 5 $200 paintings and then we reach the same pinnacle, but that $1,000 painting, that should change my perspective on art. And I don't let these little fuckers bully me, any of them. People who want commissions, people who want designs, logos, I tell them, you don't got the money, we don't work. Sorry. And I don't mean to be that asshole, but it's like I've been around people who don't do any of the work for free at all. Not even here's an idea. Or this is what you should do. Or I don't even talk to you for free. So you can only imagine it. People aren't talking for free and they're getting paid to get money. Just imagine the motherfuckers that actually take the money and help you get somewhere. Or don't help you get somewhere and just take the money.
I mean, hey, more power to you. If you're demanding to be paid to speak and people are willing to pay you to speak, more power to you, man. You must
There's
have some
consultants.
important shit to say.
Consultant. It's just like, hey, you want to just consult about a business or about an idea?
The president pays someone to write speeches for him.
Yeah, but if he wrote it himself,
I mean, I think they don't have time. I think Barack Obama is one of the only presidents who wrote most of his own speeches. I don't know how true that is, but I feel like I've heard that, and I feel like that might be true.
well, you don't have time. Like you said, you don't really have all the time in the world to be doing all that stuff. So you gotta imagine, you don't got the time. You're trying to live your life. You're trying to do better in the world. You're trying to, like, your own family. I tell people that it's hard to maintain the energy, and they're like, what energy? Like, what kind of energy are you talking about? The same energy that you wake up and you don't want to choke the fuck out of somebody. And then they're like, some people will look at me and be like, why do you have to choose violence? It ain't about choosing violence. That's just the route it is. Do I really want to choke somebody? No. That's just how I feel. Or there's some days where I just feel like I go through work and I don't really say much. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just rather get the day over with. Once the day's over
I wish I
with,
could do that at work.
man, some days,
My whole job is talking to people.
yeah, we work with customers that do the wildest shit. Oh my God, there's like sawdust on the top of the roof. The roof will be fucking vertical. It won't be a shingle I can climb. And they're like, "Can you get it?" And I'm like, "You see that roof up there? It's like,
Yeah, sometimes customers can be so ignorant. Like they forget like you're actually working, like you're doing your job.
yeah, that's
Actually, I want to ask. Speaking of work, I want to ask you. I want to ask you something. Honestly, when you are with like a group of friends, and you go out, it's like a nice restaurant, whatever. And you guys order food, and you know, the person that's waiting on you is like polite. You ask them for you, they bring you your stuff, whatever. Dinner goes by, they bring you the check. Bill's like 150 bucks. Are you tipping? What are you? Are you tipping? Are you not tipping?
$150. I'm typical.
Honestly, and I'm not. I'm
But
not judging.
is it everybody paying for it? Is it me paying for the table? What is the situation that makes?
So what I'm saying is, say it's like you, and your girl and your girl's friend and her girl's friend's boyfriend. So it's like a double date.
Sure,
Right.
four of us.
And you guys went to a restaurant, and the waitress was nice. She brought you everything you asked for. You had a good time, smiles, laughs, couple drinks, whatever. Bill comes. It's $200.
If it's $200,
You
I'm not.
and you and the other man are splitting the bill. How much are you gonna leave for a tip if you tip?
I'm leaving 150. He gonna
Hu- 150.
Yeah, he gonna
As a
have to.
tip?
He gonna no. We're splitting it. He gonna have to handle his other portion. So if he puts in 100, and I leave the $50 tip, then understandable. But I'm
Okay.
definitely. Well, I look at it different. I had a girlfriend that did exactly that. So there's three things that I didn't respect. I didn't respect garbage men, just because the height the height behind it being a bad job when it's still a career, still salary, still benefits, still things you come from it. It's just the environment, circumstances. And
Okay, so you're saying that you would tip at least $50 on the two.
well, I would tip 50, and I would insinuate to put 25 more if this dude wouldn't put more. If he just came and was like, "Nah, all I got is 100," I would put 25 more on their part. So I would I don't know what to tip, but I look at it like this. I look at it if it's a $200 bill.
So generally, 20% is like the standard in America. It's different. I don't know. Like I don't.
So what's 20% of 200?
20% of 200, I think, is $40.
Well, me tipping $50
Is a good tip.
but I would have put even more.
For good service though. Like, hey, listen, if your server sucked, they're rude, whatever.
You want me to tell you something funny? I got even a funny story. We go out, me and Melissa, her brother's friends, and this little nigga named Nico. I don't know who these niggas are, but her brother's not credible enough that I was dealing with him. I mean, his sister, he's just off nigga. Takes advantage. We go to the restaurant. I think it comes out to be $265. These niggas is like using cards, Snapchat cards, and the person in me made me want to pay for it, but I had to look at the situation like, no, because if I was in that younger situation, somebody would have made me pay for myself. There's a part of me growing up, me having my own money, me talking about it, you can pay your part, right? Melissa tells her brother to pay. His other friend don't got money. He needed $750. Mind you, it's like two $260, two something. So they not really even got enough to cover the buck. Barely. They barely got enough to cover the buck. I don't want to pay all that. I do. Then I think about on top of the tip, I'm like, damn, almost $300. Like two is like 240, 250. It was almost like 310 is what it's all the cash I had. All the cash I had possible, plus the crumbs they came with, without giving all these cards to the swipe 10 off, take this 15, take 18. Every swipe that you make is a transaction you're not getting any extra money for, my man. I'm not trying to make, if there's a transaction, I'm trying to give you the most money off of the one go, check, make it easier for you. Hash House taught me a couple things. Hash House taught me that. When I would do a little serving there and shit, they taught me, like, niggas don't give a fuck. You want good service? You got to look at it like you want it back in return. You give good service, they're going to be usually decent people. And if they're not, It's not their job to be good people. It's your job.
Exactly. So that's why I brought this up, right? So it's something that's been bothering me for the last few days since my last shift that I worked this past Saturday. So I work at Tao. Tao is it's like a place to be seen. It's like real trendy. It's kind of like fine dining, if you will. It's kind of fine dining crossed with like a club atmosphere. It's modern, right? So we get high-end clientele in there, and we also get people who want to look like money and take Instagram pictures there, and in reality, they're not spending as much money as they want to make it look like they are. Whatever, right? Me, I know that it's my job to provide good service, and if they want to tip me, they'll tip me, whatever. So there's a rumor, stereotype, whatever you want to call it, in the restaurant industry, and some people are willing to talk about it, some people are not willing to talk about it. But frankly, it's that black people don't tip.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about it or not, but that's a very common stereotype in the restaurant industry. And it makes it so not only do black people feel like they're not receiving good service because they're black, but they're also may not tip as much because they feel like they're not being given good service because they're black. And on the other side of that, the server's attitude when they get a table of black people are automatically have a preconceived notion that they're not going to get a good tip, so they're not going to give the best possible service to this table.
Yeah.
So it just creates like this cycle of underlying racism and animosity when in reality it should like what why is that? Where does that come from? That we need to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I hear it all the time in my job. It bothers me. I'm black, bro. Like that shit bothers me when I hear servers complain, "Oh, I got a table full of black people. I'm not getting shit for a tip." Like, obviously, I can't challenge them in that moment. It's busy. We're in the restaurant. I can't bring that type of energy to work. It's going to lower everyone's morale. We're all just trying to make money.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we need to have a conversation about that because I don't feel comfortable hearing that. I feel that bothers me.
Yeah, because then when I feel like I'm walking around, you looking at me, you already stereotype me off some shit that you think in your head is valuable because you get black people. You don't know their situation. You don't know what they're doing. It might even be somebody that might have the money that has to pay for everybody. He's not going to be throwing you extra bread like they all tipped in.
Yeah, and like you signed up for this job. You knew when you got hired that you were going to get paid half minimum wage. Like minimum wage in Connecticut's what, almost $12?
Yeah.
Like servers like me, I get paid like 6 and some change an hour, bro. I signed on to that job knowing that I was going to be paid $6 an hour, and I'm relying on trusting and believing that these customers are going to tip me for my service.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee there. No one tells them, hey, you have to tip. There's no automatic gratuity. Like, you go in knowing that. So with that being said, if you feel like black people aren't going to tip and you want to work in a place like Tao where it's like hip hop culture, like they embrace that. You know what I mean? Like Drake just shouted out Tao in his latest album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know this. So why are you complaining about getting black people? Just do your job. You're not always going to feel appreciated in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, just shut the fuck up and do your job. I don't know. I feel like because, like, I don't know, it just creates, like, an atmosphere where nobody talks about it. It's like that elephant in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but as long as, see, this is the problem. This is why I literally spend less time doing things that outside affirmations could enter. Like, I would love to, like, go work a nice, decent job where I could go do this and do that. But the problem is, the reality in it is I'm around people who don't appreciate it or not grateful, and I call them out, and then I usually have conflict, and I can't work there. I don't really get fired at jobs. That's the thing. I don't get fired at jobs. I usually quit.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't get fired at jobs. It's like once we have complications where we can't talk it out, you can't talk to them, then don't talk to me. I ain't coming here no more. Sit. Fuck the money. That's what it usually comes down to be. Niggas start switching, you get little Zach up there in a hash house. Next thing you know, nigga telling me, yo, what, you got to sign the suspension. You went outside, smoked for 22 minutes. Nigga, it took 8 minutes to get back there, 8 minutes to get there. That's 16 minutes. So how much time did I really smoke out there? You feel me?
Yeah.
How much time did I really smoke out there? I had the cigarette in the hand with the lighter in the other hand, ready to go out there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it boils down to, like, if you don't want to have a boss, if you don't want to deal with bullshit like that, then don't have a job.
yeah, but it's so set up that if you don't have a job, that you have to do so many underlying things because you make so many. Say you work, have a business where you take credit card payments. Well, once it goes through a certain amount, you know the tax and how much tax you got to pay back, and it's not like you can pay it back yearly or get it taken out. You got to pay that back at the end of the quarter. You know, sometimes that should be rough, especially with the pandemic. You can't make any moves, and if you do make moves, they still want money. Meanwhile, they're giving away money.
Yeah.
Like in return, they're gonna make niggas pay for it on this tax return coming around. Niggas are gonna be paying, and they trying to give
and
another
they're
stim.
paying for it with inflation.
Yeah.
You know, when you're paying X amount more dollars for a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk and a carton of eggs.
That was because we gave you more money now, and everyone was so happy to take it.
Nothing free in life. It's always a give and take. Bro, I'm toasted. I don't even know if I gotta finish this.
That's great. We're about to end this podcast episode because I need to use the bathroom. Nah, it's one of those things where you don't realize you're holding it for this long because we've been doing this for an hour and 5 minutes. There's a stand that it goes on. Yeah, you can tell it. Everything's like a.
It's an hour and 6 minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You don't even realize it. And you're just chilling and talking. But this is gonna be part 1 of episode 4 or 5, whatever one it is. I think it's 5. No, it's definitely like 5 because
So wait, so is it?
it's the CNC podcast. It's
What
called
notch? I
the
know
Creative
that.
and Cozy. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is this whole thing we've been recording? That's an episode.
Yeah, it's 1 episode.
Oh shit! Hour-long episodes.
Well, this is the thing. It can get cut. That's why I said part 1.
Oh,
It
okay.
can get cut. It can get cut, or the whole thing can get processed. They won't be fully listened to, but I can. See, this is the thing. This is the goal here. The goal is to have at least 20 before the structure really comes in. Because you start with the structure now, that's cool. There'll be no issues. I'll be conditioned for the structure. But when it's one person like me, I keep it pretty structured because I know what I want to, you know what I mean? I know what I want to talk about, where is it going to lead, and who am I going to pertain it to, and what snippets do I want to get from it, you know, specifically.
So it's like. It's like more like clips.
Well, it depends. The clips will lead you to the full thing.
Oh, okay.
It's
so
what
you'll see, like,
it's
clips of like highlights of the episode and be like, oh, I want to hear more about that, and then they'll click on that clip, and then it'll be the full episode, and they can listen to the whole thing.
like I can clip the part where you said, "Not everyone's gonna appreciate you. Get over it and do your fucking job."
Yeah.
Click that part out, and I can put it on a background or something, and that's why it's good to keep the visual, because then when you say that shit, you can do edits and zoom ins and. But the thing is, the camera, it needs maintenance. Like halfway through this episode, it needed a battery change. It might have been able to go longer. I'm not sure. I forget how long. But if it needed a battery change, that means somebody would have to get up and do it. And then it had to get the camera turned back on, zoom back in, make sure it's locked in, and finish the podcast. Like, dog, it's a lot of work for one person. It's a lot of work. I'm cooked. And this is definitely been very dope. And
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime, man.
oh yeah, we'll definitely come up with part 2, part 3, whatever. Or next time will probably be just on the visuals. It'll probably be more on the visual tip.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
And we can do it definitely shorter and more structured. But
You want to send them out with some vibes?
You could send them out with some vibes.
Send them out with some vibes. Whoa, 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 whoa.
The phone's close here.
Whoa.
Damn, I did it again.
No, we're good. We're good now. We're
Yeah,
good.
no, I fixed it. It's usually when the frequencies are together like that, it be making wild noises. I need to get this 10-foot boom one where it's like a claw and it just holds the mic over the bed or something. It would be like over right here, and I wouldn't have to deal with it being in front of me. But then the problem is the shit fall and hit me in the head mid-recording or something. It costs a lot. We don't even have to put the vibes on. I gotta use the bathroom. We could just end it right now.
And in the track's time, if you ain't
Ain't a rapper, what's in my soul is different. I mix a rock, Kim, Tupac, and mint condition. I can sing a hook, jot some bars and make it banger. This rap shit ain't nothing new, I ain't a stranger. Yeah, you ballin' out shit.
And it's Why Not Derek.
Universe.
Thank you for listening and tuning in. See you next time.
We out.
Peace.
back you down for your racks like Shaq in his prime.
Watch what you go through, ain't no lacking at all. Gotta stand on your own too, ain't no lacking at all.